Hello students, very good morning to one and all. So in this semester I am going to deal the subject is nothing but software testing methodologies. So I have total 9 years experience in this college in Vishwadaya Technical Academy. Generally it is in the department, I am in the department of CSE Vishwadaya Technical Academy and my name is Saptami I. So this is the subject which we have all about the software testing. So first, what is meant by software testing? So the name itself defines the testing. Testing means you all well known about the software testing. Testing means generally testing some software, some applications, or some programs or program code, source code, whatever it is. So testing all this by using some of the softwares like software testing tools. So all this comes under this subject is nothing but software testing methodologies. So next, if we'll see about what is prescribed textbook. So generally there are many prescribed textbooks which is as references, we can call it as a references or a prescribed whatever. So the only one textbook we have defined here is nothing but a Boris Bezer. So Boris Bezer is nothing but a software testing techniques. It is one of the main prescribed textbook for software testing methodologies, and rest of all is nothing but references like software testing tool Dr. K. Prasad, Dreamtex publications, and these are all the references which you have to refer if you have any doubts on particular topics or particular subject in the particular topics in the subject. So this is about the prescribed textbook. Next, here we'll see about the what is the software testing methodologies, what is the main use of software testing methodologies, and what we'll discuss in this total semester about 5 units. So software testing methodologies. First I will discuss about what is meant by software, what is meant by testing, and what is meant by methodologies. So first, software. What is meant by software? It is nothing but a set of instructions or collection of programs will differ in different ways. The members will be called different ways, different technology like software technology, software applications, software programs, software code, whatever. So all the softwares need to be tested, because when the software is going to be in the ending purpose or delivering purpose, in that if there is any errors to be raised, so that all can be discussed in the testing. So if the errors rises, how the testing will be done, how the rectify total bugs will be rectified, all can be defined like methodologies. For suppose for this bug, for like if there is any program error or syntax error, what is the method to be applied? So if there is any program error, what is the method to be applied? If there is any software error, what is method to be applied? All this can be defined in the methodologies. So that's why our subject is known as software testing methodologies. So understood? So this is the software testing methodologies, and we have different platforms in this software testing methodologies to be tested. So first we'll go for unit. What are the main units here? I will discuss briefly about what are the units. So first unit is introduction and flow graph and path testing. In this unit you have two different parts. One is introduction and another one is flow graph and path testing. See students, generally in these subjects all 5 units about the testing. So first is nothing but flow graph and path testing. Before that there is an introduction. So introduction defines what is the software testing, what is the main use of software testing, what is the purpose of the software testing, and all this can be defined in the unit 1. So this is about the unit 1. So next coming to the unit 2. So unit 2 is nothing but a transaction and data flow testing. So entire 5 units, it depends on the testing like transaction testing, data flow testing, path testing, flow graph testing. All every area seems about the testing phase. So coming to the again unit 1, introduction. Introduction means what are the like purpose, what is the main types of testing, what is the main differences of testing, so and so testing techniques, and what are the types, what are the effects, what are the results, all can be defined in the introduction phase. So next, second, flow graph and path testing defines what are the main flow graphs can be defined. What are the flow graphs? Flow chart. You are well known about the flow chart and how the flow graph. What is the difference between flow graph and flow chart, and what the flow graph defines over than the flow chart, and all this can be discussed in this flow graph. And path testing means, so whenever the data will be path from one node to the another node, all discussed in this path testing, and how the testing will be done. So this is about unit 1. Next, coming to the unit 2, transaction. The name itself, you all know, the transaction means is generally whatever the operation to be performed or operation to be performed between the elements, whatever, all can be discussed in the unit 2 as a transaction. And data flow testing is nothing but the data will be flowed between one node to the another node. So when the testing applies on the data flow, it is nothing but a data flow testing. All can be defined as data flow testing, and this is nothing but a transaction and data flow testing. Everything, the data which is flowed from one point to the another point or source to destination. When the data will be flowed, when the transaction is arise, how the testing will be applied on particular cases will comes in the unit 2. So that is the unit 2. Next, coming to the unit 3. So unit 3 is nothing but domain testing. Everything about domains. For example, domains means is nothing but what is meant by domain. For example, you well known about the domains like artificial intelligence domain is one domain. If you have any PPT presentations or technical games or whatever, so what's your domain? What's your stream? So that is nothing but dividing one of the domain to the domain. So whenever the domain rises, whenever the domain is tested, that is known as a domain testing. For example, domain is nothing but artificial intelligence is one domain, and data mining and data warehousing is another domain, and something like whatever what we can say like cloud computing is another domain, networking is another domain. All can these are all the domain. If the problem rises or the bug rises in the particular domain, it is nothing but a domain testing. So whenever the testing applies on the each domain individually, that testing is known as a domain testing. So this is about the unit 3. Next, we'll see about the unit 4. So unit 4 is totally related to path products and regular expressions, and one more chapter is logic based testing. So path products and regular expressions and logic based testing all can be defined in the unit 4. So here this unit defines, so wherever the testing applies in like regular expressions or mathematical expressions or calculations, all can be defined in this unit 4. Logic based testing, the name itself tells how the testing applies, where the testing applies, in what way the testing applies logically. Like if there is any condition to be tested, if there is any logic to be tested, if there is any logic operation to be tested, all can be defined in the logic based testing. So this is about unit 4. So next, coming to the last unit is nothing but unit 5 is nothing but a state testing and graph matrices. Here also there is a two chapters. One is state testing, another one is graph matrices. So state testing means we can define states. So operating system. If you take the operating system, the best example for the operating system states is nothing but a process states like new state, ready state, running state, exit like interruption state or termination interruption state and exit state, or blocked state on exit state. All can be defined in the, if the testing applies on the particular state, if the testing applies on the new state, if the testing applies on the ready state, if the testing applies on the running state, if the testing applies on the blocking state and the testing applies on the exit state, all this can be defined in the state testing. If the bugs rises, then the testing tools will be applied, the testing methodologies will be applied, and the bugs will be solved. So this is about the state testing. And there is some program code which is need to be tested, like graph matrices. We have graph matrices as a mathematical way. So in that graph matrices, how we are going to be tested? All can be defined in the if there is any program code which consists of the graphs or matrices format, then we'll apply the graph matrix testing. So this is about the 5 units. So again, just briefly I am saying, Unit 1 defines the path testing and introduction and path testing. Unit 2 defines the transaction and data flow testing. Unit 3 defines the domain testing, where the domains to be tested. Unit 4 defines the path, products and regular expressions and logic based testing. The main testing is logic based testing. And Unit 5 defines state testing. So this is the total Unit 5. Nothing but 5 units. Okay. Next we'll go for Unit 1. So what Unit 1 consists? So from here we will start our syllabus. Nothing but first unit. So what is the first unit? What the first unit and how many chapters is there in this first unit, and in the particular each and every chapter what are the topics to be considered, in the second chapter what are the topics to be considered. So remember students, this is a very easy unit which you need to be learned perfectly. So let us see the what units to be, what is the topics to be under Unit 1. So first, I already told you in the previous slide. So first, Unit 1 consists of introduction, flow graph and path testing. So introduction. So in the introduction, the very first topic is purpose of testing. So why the what is the main need of testing? What is the main use of testing? What is the main purpose of testing? So if you are doing the testing, so what is the main purpose of you? What is the main purpose to be tested of particular software program? So all can be defined in this purpose of testing. So next topic, dichotomies. Dichotomies is nothing but another name for dichotomies is nothing but differences. So what is the difference between software and some other? What is the difference between some small programs and large programs? What is the difference between structural and functional? All like in the whatever the topics in the software applications or software program need to be differentiated from one way to the another way. That is the way to define as dichotomies. Next, coming to the third one is model for testing. Model is nothing but a designing. So what is the main designing way for testing? So this is the way to define the model for testing. So how the software need to be designed? So first, what is the aspect? Second aspect, third aspect. If there is any interruption occurs in the third aspect, then where the particular link should be move on. All can be defined like model. Nothing but how the testing phase will be designed. In what type of levels, in what way of levels can be testing phase will be designed, can be defined in the model for testing. So fourth one is consequences for bug. So first, consequences is nothing but the word defines consequences means results. Uh, if the testing applies, so what are the effects we are facing? What the bugs will be raised? If this bug will be raised, what is the effect of particular bug? All can be defined in the consequences of bugs. So next topic is taxonomy of bugs. So taxonomy is nothing but a types of bugs. So types of bugs, what is the main types of bug? What is the bug to be defined? What is the bug to be known? So all can be defined in the taxonomy. Taxonomy means types. So these are all the topics of introduction topics which need to be performed. So this is the some of the topics. First, what is the main purpose of testing? What are the differences? Nothing but dichotomies. So what is the model for testing? and what are the consequences of bugs, and what are the taxonomy of bugs. So this is about the introduction. So next unit 1, the second part is nothing but flow graph and path testing. So flow graph, you all well known about the flow graph is nothing but a, for example, keep it aside, flow graph, keep it aside of flow graph. First we'll see about the flow chart. Flow chart is nothing but consists of process blocks and consists of some decision statements, and there is a flow of decision statement if the positive and negative, nothing but yes or no. So in the first year you all know about the flow chart, which is in the C&DS, nothing but C programming. So same, in the same way also here there is a flow graph which is need to be performed, which is need to be tested. During this flow graph, due to defining this flow graph, the testing will be 50% or 70% will be easy way to be tested. So for that purpose, we'll go for the flow graph, and there the testing will be applied in the path. So that path is nothing but achievable path or unachievable path. All can be discussed in this flow graph and path. So in this, the first concept is basic concepts of path testing. So if you want to do path testing, what are the main basic concepts to be learned, to be used? All can be discussed in basic concepts, nothing but what is meant by process block, what is meant by decision statement, what is meant by case statements, what is meant by so and so. All can be discussed in this concepts, basic concepts. So next topic, predicates. What is meant by predicate? The name itself defines predicate is nothing but a condition statements, or what is meant by predicate. So all if the condition perform, how the path will be generated. If the path will be generated, what is that path? Is that path is achievable, or is that path is unachievable? All can be discussed in this based on the predicate, based on the condition. So next one is path predicates and achievable paths. So what is meant by path predicate and what is meant by achievable path? So I already told you that in the previous concept in predicates, what is meant by path predicate. In the path, whenever the path is going in the path, what is the main condition statement to be performed? What is the main achievable path to be achieved? If there is number of achievable paths, what the path will be chosen? Which path is better to be chosen? And by choosing that path, you will be selected and performing that testing. So this is about the third concept. Next one is path sensitizing. I told that in the previous concept. Path, achievable path. If you have no more number of paths, like 10 paths, so selecting the right path is nothing but a path sensitizing. Which path will be selected? There are number of paths. In that paths, there are some wrong paths and also some good paths. So by selecting the wrong path, the total testing will be collapsed, fail. By selecting the right path, the testing will be done successfully. So that concept is nothing but a path sensitizing. So next one is path instrumentation. So path instrumentation is nothing but a after selecting the correct path, so how the variables will be generated between node to node, or decision to decision, or case statement to case statement. All can be defined in the path. So that is known as the path instrumented. So what is the link marker? In that path instrumentation, there is one of the topic is nothing but a link marker. So name itself tells marking the link from starting point to the ending point. All can be defined in the path instrumentation. And last topic is applications. So applications of path testing. What are the applications? What are the examples of path testing? All can be defined in the applications of path testing. And not only in this past unit, every unit ending, the last concept is applications. So this is the applications means example. Entire unit, by seeing the entire unit, what is nothing but a, what are the examples? By seeing the entire unit, what are the applications facing by this testing, by applying like this testing. So this is about flow graph and path testing, and this is about unit 1. Unit 1 topics like syllabus. So first top chapter is introduction chapter, second chapter is flow graph and path testing. So this is all about the unit 1, and from the next class we will go for purpose of testing, and this is a very easy subject which is totally learned about the software, and you will learn it manually also. And hope you all understand about this brief introduction about the software testing. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask me the doubts in whatever the platform you've chosen, like any platform. So thank you very much.